Hey, crazy people. Happy Wednesday, October 5th. I'm glad you guys can join me. I'm Jennifer Outwater for those of you who don't know me, although I think most of you do. So welcome. Give a shout out to all of my peeps. Victor, Carol, Zanalee, nice to have you here. Damiani, it's a nice Italian name. Miss Jana, Amanda, good to see you guys in. Miss Carol, good to have everybody in. If you guys get a minute, hey, Miss Elise, take a second and share out if you can, and we're going to get rolling today. And y'all bear with me. I'm having like a full redneck moment. Victor and I went and bought an old conversion van, and it is bomb. The only thing that it is missing, I said, was the Waylon Jennings 8-track. If it would have came with that, I would have been making sweet love to that van. But it's pretty cool. So outside of my fetishes for old vans, we can get into it today and kind of get going with everything. I know you guys had a really good show with Rachel on Monday and a really good show with Victor yesterday. And I think a lot of you know that we've got a lot of big astrological shifts that are coming in. We're starting to kind of see the things that we were told were going to happen after the grand alignment on the 24th of August are kind of coming into fruition now. And so we're in that movement. Is it Tuesday, Carol? Is it Tuesday? Oh my God, it's Tuesday, not Wednesday. Whatever. A different day, different whatever, right? I don't know what day of the week it is. I just show up. Elise, you're fine. Don't worry about missing last night. I tried to miss it, but since I have to run the production, it's impossible. Just teasing. I'm happy to have you guys here. Jan, I'm glad that you're happy to be back too, but we do have a lot going on. There's a lot astrologically that's going to kind of start pouring in. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? See, Carol, you suckerfish. I can't believe you did that to me. Victor's here, so if y'all hear him chuckling, that's what it is. He can't contain himself. I have been on a roll. As y'all can see, my energy is very wound because my 12-year-old finally learned what it means to make somebody's butt pucker because I told him he drives me crazy and he makes my butt pucker. So now he's real happy with himself. Oh, it's been a day. But we'll jump in with you guys and kind of see what's going on. So if you guys want a reading, please let me know. Make sure if you want to be specific, ask a question when you want the reading so that I can get as specific with you as possible. And as always, you guys know I don't do tarot, but I do have this lovely deck that I'll pull one card for you and we'll kind of just make it mean whatever it needs to mean for you, even though I don't read tarot cards. But we're going to get through this and be just fine. So let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Miss Jana, I'll be happy to get your reading, sweetie. If you have anything specific, let me know, okay? So I can make sure that I'm getting everybody taken care of. And it looks like I'm not missing anything, except for Big Dog in the background barking her brains out. All right, Miss Jana, let's see what we can do for you. And since Victor's here at the house, if I miss anybody, he can tell me, right? Miss Amanda, you would love a reading too, honey? I have got you. We haven't seen you in a while, Amanda. I'm glad to see you back in, sweetie. Been a minute. But this one's going to be from Miss Jana Fuller, okay? So, Jana, the card that I'm pulling for you is a one card. That is all about source. It's all about you at the core. Hi, Holly. And this is called Tidy Home, okay? It's clarity and organization. Now, let me put it up again so you can look at it. It's a really pretty card. When we get cards like this, it always makes me go back to what my grandmother always said. My grandmother would tell me, okay, she's an old Southern lady, but she would say, the way a person keeps their house and their car is the way they keep their heart and their mind. And there's a lot of truth to that. So if there's a lot of clutter, it makes it real hard for you to keep your mind straight. Do you know what I mean? To keep things in your heart straight, to keep emotionally straight with things. So seeing how that is kind of the first thing that came up, we're going to jump on into it. So one of the biggest things that I see for you, Jana, when I'm pulling in, one would be that you don't trust yourself enough. You're an incredibly wise person, but I think that you have always been surrounded by really strong personalities. And so it has taught you to kind of say things with a lot of thought first, which is good. And then to finish and just kind of let everybody else play out or talk about however they're going to do whatever they're going to do. So that's the first big thing. So when we're talking about that clarity, right, that came with the first card, we're talking about knowing where the boundaries are for you to be healthy in your own mindset, to where you're speaking your truth without stepping on other people. And I think that's where the real balance in this comes in, is where your level of comfortability is in doing that earnestly without hurting other people. And I think that's always the big concern. So things for you, it's about not only trusting yourself, but trusting that other people are not going to crap all over you if you say what you've got to say. And the truth of the matter is, as we move through all of the energy and the shifts that we're going through, if somebody feels crapped on without reason, it's time to cut them loose, right? We're in that season right now where leaves are falling. Now, I'm not saying get rid of all the people, but I'm saying there's some things that you just can't dance around. There's some things that you can't avoid. Some things just need to fall to the ground, right? So that they can go through the cycle of life. They can decompose and come back as something else. And I think that's going to be kind of the rhythm for you over the next month or two. There's also something that comes in for me regarding a car, ironically, because I was just talking about, I just bought one today. If you are buying a new car, or if you are needing to do something on your car, it feels almost more like that for me. There are some maintenance issues, it looks like, that will come up for me, and specifically coming into like hoses, like coolant hoses or heating hoses, something in that area. If you haven't had any problems with it yet, maybe just go get a one-over on it, get it checked out before the season changes too quick, okay? All right, Miss Jana, thank you, my darling. And let's see who else we've got. Holy moly. Hey, Brigitte, Miss Holly. Lots of good people in here. This is so exciting when I see new people in. I get so wound up. It's like having new people to the party, because it is new people to the party. Very cool. So I think we're moving over to Miss Amanda. Amanda, I didn't see a question, so I'm just going to jump in, I think, with general. I'll put back through, but yeah, I didn't see one. Okay. So yeah, we'll just go general then, and let me pull the main card. This is a 15, okay? It's going to reduce down to a 6, and it's called Dust Devils, moving out of stagnation. However, in your case, it is inverted, okay? So what does that mean for you? It means that there was a lot of movement going on for you, and I feel like since July, a lot of things coming in that you were having to deal with. You're kind of coming into the lull right now where you can take a little bit off your plate, just piece by piece. You're taking little things off your plate. It's slowing down a little bit. I will tell you that it doesn't feel like the emotional attachment to all that movement is slowing down. I think that kind of stays with you, but the physicality of it slows down quite a bit. So as things start to calm down, if you can balance your energetic level with the movement that's happening around you, I think it's going to make things like a lot easier, because I feel you being super aggravated a lot, just kind of aggravated with everything and everybody. And believe me, I get it. I'm like in dead heat of menopause, and I'm bitchy, and I'm Southern. So it's my nature, right? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, come sit by me. It's that kind of thing. But you're not like that. I'm talking about myself. But it seems like you lose your cool and you get aggravated with little things a lot. But it's all the little things that build up into something, right? So this is about letting those things go. You have to kind of clean house right now. You have to sweep out the dust, sweep out the trash, and take this moment where things are like the energy outside of you is moving, but the energy you're directly in is real calm right now. It's kind of like being in the eye of a hurricane, right? If you can stay in that eye and just be really calm and kind of sweep things out, clean out some of the old garbage. Do you know what I mean? Unload a file that's up here that doesn't need to be there anymore. Things will get a lot easier for you, and you'll find a happy rhythm that kind of just plays out. I also see some travel for you guys coming in, but it feels like it's going to be around, now I'm not sure if this is November 27th or December 27th, but I'm just hearing the 27th. So it feels like you guys are going to have some travel, and this has something to do with seeing family. So around the holidays, I do see that stuff coming in. All right, let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I always feel like I'm missing something. Holly, you wanted a reading too? Amanda, we're glad that you're happy to be here, sweetie, and that you are here. I'm always so honored when you guys show up, because it tells me that you guys are doing the work. Do you know what I mean? You're really looking for real change in your life and not just sitting on your laurels. And that's why this whole thing got started. So bravo a tutti. Good for all of you. Hello, Miss Mika. Glad to see you in. Dawn, welcome. Hey, Rachel. I got Rachel, you're going to die when you see this van. It's even got like the little kitchenette area in the back with like fold down bar and place to put your beer. It is amazing. Amanda, you are so welcome, sweetie. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody on readings really quick. Okay.
Carol and Elise.
Okay, but I also saw Holly. Were Carol and Elise above Holly?
Yes.
Okay, I guess I missed that. So let me jump up.
General.
All right, there it is. Got it. Okay, Miss Carol, let me jump in with you, and then Holly, I'll get to you after these two, okay? So Miss Carol, ooh, you got the horned cactus. This is resourcefulness. It's the card number is 29, so that's going to reduce down to a 3. So this is all about your relations with other people. However, it is inverted, which means we are not finding ways to deal with other people. We're still in that roadblock. You're still facing a lot of that redundant energetic that was passing over from the last couple of months. You're on the tail end of this, but it hasn't passed completely. In fact, I don't see it phasing out until we get around November 4th. I think it's October for you is going to be a month where you are coming to the end of your rope, which is where you need to be, right? You can't let go of the rope and go into a new experience until you're at the end of it. So it's kind of like you're holding on to a frayed rope, right? Just waiting. October is kind of that way. It's all going to finalize and get itself worked out. By November 4th, I see things coming in much, much smoother for you. Not so much where work is concerned, because again, that's one of those extra little things where you're at the end of the road. There's a lot that's been put on the back burner, I think, where you were like, it's not the right time to start anything new. It's not the right time to rock the boat. It's not the right time to do this, but it actually is. You just have to trust the movement that you're feeling, right? Because right now, outside influences are controlling everything in your world, at least on the experience level. They're not controlling necessarily how you relate or how you deal with it, but those outside influences of other people are controlling what you're going through, kind of the flow of the river that's being navigated here, the boat that you're on, right? So it's that, and it's just about kind of being all right with that, but realize that when things need to end, they just need to end, right? Not every hug's meant to last forever. Nothing lasts forever. It just doesn't. And it's okay for things to end. So don't feel like it's not the right time. It is exactly the right time. When it comes up, let her go, baby. Boop, drop the mic, right? That's what we got to do. You just got to drop the mic, sister. And it will be absolutely fine. And listen, guys, for everybody, that's going to be a big part of October. We have highs and lows coming in this month that are very, very extreme. Okay. We get a little reprieve this week now with Mercury coming out of retrograde, but we have so many other things happening astrologically that it's just going to be like this, just period. If you don't know who you are and where you sit with yourself, you're going to be doing this. You may still do a little dip-de-dip. That's okay, as long as you come back up to level, right? As long as you kind of get yourself together. There's nothing lost and nothing gained. But do your best right now not to lube up the board and go for a ride, right? Horrible. I'm a horrible person, but I sure do love y'all. I sure am glad y'all were here. I just can't control my mouth. I'm sorry. All right, Miss Elise, let's see. And I guess we're going general, Miss Elise. I will assume that is the way that we are moving. So the card that I pulled for you is a 35. That's an 8. And if you guys are new and you don't know when I pull these numbers, look your numbers up with numerology and see what that means for you, okay? But that is an 8, and it is the lost compass. It's getting back to integrity. Now, it is upright, okay? This means, obviously, that you are kind of finding your way. I don't feel like you're chasing your tail around as much. You know, you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off quite as much. There seems to be more intention driving you, at least more directive intention that is aligned with a higher purpose. Instead of you chasing things, you're just very directed, and those things are going to start coming. You're in a really good period. That period for you rolls really, really well all the way through February. The only thing that I see that comes up is there will be a light shift for you, but this is nothing that's going to affect you heavily. With what we have going on in the world and in the markets and in the economy, I can tell you that it looks for me like work-wise, there will be some people that go. I'm not sure if that's they're being let go, but it almost feels that way. There will be some little dips. And I think your workload gets a little bit heavier, but it's nothing you can't handle, right? You're a bull anyway. You like to take it on. Makes you feel proud. So take it on. But everything for you actually looks pretty good. So you're straight, sweet girl. I think that's all it boils down to is just you're in control right now, right? Like you're driving the ship. So I don't see anything in the outward way that's pushing you in one direction or the other. I think right now you are in full command of everything that you're doing. So you're solid, mama. Just hang on, right? You don't even have to worry about hanging on that tight. I think it's just going to roll really smooth for you. You're lucky. So maybe you and Carol should hang out. So this gets easier for Carol. I think she needs some of that juju because, whew, there's going to be some people that are having some rocky weeks. October is going to be, forget November surprise, kids. October is going to shock the big girl panties right off of you. By the time November rolls around and November 8th rolls in, the only thing you're all going to be saying is, I knew it. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. Okay, let me see. Did I miss anybody? I got Miss Jana. I got Amanda. Miss Holly. That's where I was going. Miss Holly Burling. Let me see what I can find out. And did Holly have a question? Okay, general reading. See, I finally got some help. I just had to liquor Victor up over here, and he's over there happy as a lark. That's how this works, man. Slave labor. Just got to liquor them up. No shame in that game. Big old bottle of rum. The cheap kind's like $15, man. You'll get every penny's worth, I'm telling you. Liquor them suckers up. All right, Miss Holly. You have got a 31 card, reducing down to a 4. Now, I know 4 can mean a lot of things depending on what your ideology is or whether you have any or not. Of course, in the Chinese perspective, 4 is always revolving around death, but that's not necessarily true in other philosophies. So I'll let you gauge this one for yourself. In this one, it's called In the Hand. It's the universe is your partner, but it's inverted. So I don't want you to get upset and think, what? The universe is against me? Absolutely not. But what it is saying is that you are responsible right now for your own creation. So the universe will meet you where you vibrate. What you bring to it, it will match. I think a lot of time with you, it's like, you know, why don't I have better luck? Or if I do this enough, or if I do that enough, or why isn't it happening? But you have to meet it. You have to rise and meet the occasion, right? Like the old Irish proverb, may the road rise up to meet you. The second part of that is may not hit you in the ass, right? So you have to rise up to meet what you want. And Holly, for me, that's pretty much where things are coming from, because you have a whole lot coming in. You have a whole lot of new beginnings coming in. So this is like, it feels for me like somebody really close to you is either already pregnant or will be getting pregnant really quick. But there's a whole new beginning where relationships and friendships coming in. This is like an addition to the family that comes in. It's something, a new person to grow with, a new person to love. So you've got lots of cool things coming in. And it's going to be something also, I do feel like there's, I don't know if you're in a relationship right now. If you are, this magnifies and gets stronger. If you are not, somebody's coming in really, really quickly. But when we get towards the 9th, today's the 5th, so in 4 days, you are going to see a burst of attraction to other people. And you, my dear, will be glowing. People will be oddly attracted to you as well. So take advantage of that. Don't go over the top, right? This is not the time that we want to put on big eyelashes and pasties. This is when we want to be ourselves. So be natural, be yourself. But you're going to be super, super attractive to everybody that day. If you don't want to be super attractive, come hang out with me. I will show you how not to do it. But that's going to be your thing. You're going to be shining like a star, sweetie. So lots of good things coming in for you. Just remember, mark that day on the 9th, and you have somebody new coming into your soul group, into your family group. So congratulations. That's going to be super cool. I'm super happy for you. I hope nobody in my family's having any babies right now, because I don't want to be a grandmother yet again. I think I'm good for the moment. But I hope that helps, Miss Holly. Jana, you think you pretty much overthink everything? I would agree, sweetie. You are in your own head. That's not a bad place to be as long as it's clean up there, right? It's okay to be up here if the space in between is clean and not holding on to a lot of baggage. If it's holding on to a lot of baggage, it can get pretty claustrophobic sometimes up there. So that's the only thing. Overthinking's not a bad thing as long as it's not counterproductive. I guess that's the right way to say it. And I got you, Miss Carol. Yay! Let's see. Am I missing anything now? Miss Mika wants a reading. Okay. So Mika, thank you, Victor. I'm going to start calling him Captain Morgan. I'm just saying. Y'all wouldn't believe it, but Victor is wearing nothing but a pirate flag right now. I'm joking. He's fully dressed. I just like to give him a lot of crap. I like to watch him blush, and y'all can hear him giggling because there's no telling what's coming out my mouth, private or public. And today has been one of those days. All righty, Miss Mika. I'll get off myself and get back to you, Mika. You have got a 22 card, which also reduces down to a 4. And like I said before, in the Chinese perspective, that would be the death of something, but not in every perspective. So you kind of have to gauge that one for yourself. But it's called the Fool's Embrace. It's about transmuting pain. Okay. However, it is inverted. Okay. So here's my take with that aspect, Mika. You have to be very careful not to take every single thing personally. I think sometimes you can feel like the world's against you or certain people are against you, and it isn't necessarily always that way. Maybe sometimes it is, but I think most of the time it's not. I think one of the bigger issues is that you are highly empathic, and maybe also a hoarder of energetic and emotion. And when I say that, I mean that you don't like to release and get rid of things. You'd rather hold it all in there and try to make sense of it instead of letting go what doesn't serve you. And so there is a big part in that. There's a lot of miscommunications, especially with women around you. I know you don't trust a lot of other women quite so much, people in general, but there's a real thing with women. I feel like there's always a miscommunication. Like, I don't know if it's a personality difference or if it's the fact that you are as empathic as you are. It could be both. It could be one. But it does feel like there's a lot of misunderstandings, and that kind of stops you from reaching your full potential. I would really like to see you bust out the gates. I mean, I'm sure you would like to see that for yourself as well. But you have to start paying attention to the details of other things rather than just the emotional things, right? Sometimes, like Jana was saying, she's in her head too much, you're in your heart too much, right? We have to find an equilibrium and a balance in there if we're going to be healthy. And so sometimes when you're having all the feels, you have to maybe just write them down, get them off of yourself, release them, and then start using this part. Use the logic a little more. Do you know what I mean? So you can kind of discern what's a real issue and what's not a real issue. Because it feels like for me, you really hold everything. You're like Velcro, right? Somebody's happy they walk by, you catch a smile. Somebody's a jackass, they walk by, you know, you catch a jackass. You're just like Velcro. There's just stuff hitting you all the time. So be careful about what you let stick to you. You know, maybe be vinyl and not Velcro. Maybe that's maybe a rubber suit, right? Like a wetsuit, but something that doesn't let things cling and covet to it too long. But that's the major thing with you, Miss Mika. So see if you can work on kind of harmonizing and balancing how you receive energetic and how you hold and interpret energetic. Try to come out of the heart chakra a little bit and go up to the head chakra a little more and see if you can find some balance with things. All right, sweet peas. Oh my goodness. Jana, you're very welcome. I'm glad that made a lot of sense for you. Okay. Brigitte, let me get you in here. Let's see what we got from Miss Brigitte. All right. So pull the 11 card, reducing down to a 2, or you can hold it at the 11 for mastery number, however you choose to do it. This card is called Deep Quiet. It's meditation in stillness. So here we are. And you can see how this person's been, all the things that they were working with in the universe to make come into fruition are coming into fruition. And now that person doesn't necessarily know what to do with stillness. Sometimes when we get what we want or what we said we wanted, we have a lull of time of not knowing what to do now that we don't have all of that going on, right? It's kind of like people that have PTSD, right? They're almost better in war than they are when they come out of it, because when they come out, they're, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I got a buck knife and a 22, right? Like what? I'm going grocery shopping like this? You've had so much going on that now going into the lull, you have to find a new medium. You have to find a new way of being that's again paced where it was months ago. Because you had a couple of months of just a lot. Now we're back to like finding a new pace, right? Finding a new rhythm. everything's coming under control as far as where, you know, your marriage is, your relationship, everything's in a completion stage in that. Everything's firming up with your boys. I'm absolutely happy about that. And it looks like things are moving along. You do have something new that comes in this month, and it does feel like it's maybe a family member. There's something coming in with y'all combining family. It's not just your relationship. Somebody else is going to be like bringing somebody else into the mix as well. And it looks like something serious, right? Like it's kind of the culmination of everything coming together. So that's coming in. As far as work goes, things look very quiet for me after this. It just looks like for me that you've got a lot of communication. I feel like you're going to be doing, I think, like writing. I think you're going to be writing a lot. And maybe it's time to take the downtime and turn journals into short stories or journals into a book. But it feels for me like there's going to be a lot of writing. I think that's the way you're going to find some new expression, especially coming up over the next couple of months. You guys are going to have a rough winter in Kentucky. So I think whatever you're thinking needs to happen outside needs to happen now. And then you need to have some activities planned for what you're going to do on the inside, because it is going to be a long, early winter. I miss Kentucky. Don't miss that. Still super nice here. El Paso, super nice right now. Okay, I said hi to Dawn. I got everybody in. Let's see. What am I missing? Dawn wanted a general reading. Victor, thank you.
You're most welcome. And Chastity's next.
You are doing so good. Can I just tell you? You're like the, what was his name? What was
Ed McMahon.
No, you're not like Ed McMahon. You're not showing up with checks. Do y'all hear this shit? Can you believe this? He's a
You
real,
are correct, man.
like he's handing out checks. I don't even know what's going on. No more rum for Victor. Okay, where was I again?
Dawn, general reading.
Miss Dawn. Sorry, Dawn. I told y'all I'm in a mood today. I'm feisty today. I've just got news for everybody. All right. Miss Dawn, you got a 44 that's going to reduce down to an 8. This card is called the perfect storm. It's the courage to step into a new life. Okay. However, this was inverted for me when I pulled it. I'm gonna put it upright just so you can see a little bit about what this is. All right. But I got it inverted, which means obviously I have to interpret and shift the meaning of that just a little bit. I will say this. I don't think you lack courage. I think you're very calculated, intelligently in making decisions that are not too far out there. I don't think you lack courage at all. I think it's time for you to be introspective and pull yourself in to kind of decide what the next phases are for you. I feel a lot with like home and house for you. So this feels for me like work being done around the house, or maybe even considering a different house. But it feels more for me like there's just a lot of thought about stability and home and what that world is for you, what it looks like for you. There's also this really deep soulmate energy that comes in. I think you're also connecting really deeply with yourself, maybe on a more honest and deeper level than you ever have before. And that I find that fascinating, because it's you finally starting to own and be okay with 100% who you are as a spiritual entity, a human being, and whatever you want to call it. But you're becoming okay with your soul, and that makes me really happy. I like that a lot. So there's that culmination of you're almost like nurturing and mothering yourself. So when we got that first card, I don't see that as a bad thing. I don't think you need courage to jump out into the world to do something totally crazy. I think you need to stay in the lane that you're in. I think you need to toe that line, because that line works. It is using common sense and logic over scattered emotion. And I think that's going to serve you well. So try to just keep reconnecting to your true self, to your true identity, and sit still with it. Just know you're fine. Like everything in your path, I don't see anything major going on there. Like I said, there is the stuff around home, whatever that is that you guys are going to be doing, but you're okay. I think it's just about breathing and being good in your own skin, right? It's just getting to that point in life where you're there. So congratulations. I would like to get there. I would like for a lot of people to get there, because it's a super healthy place to be. Excuse me. My goodness. For sure. And Chastity's next, is that right?
General reading.
General reading from Miss Chastity. I love this. I think Victor's worth a 4-ounce pour once a week, so I don't have to read. I'm just teasing. I'm joking. I'm pretty selfish with my booze. Okay. Chastity, you got a 12 card reducing down to a 3 into the Holy Trinity, right? And it's the Dragon Sword. It's protecting the future. It is a really cool card. So here you can see yourself, right? All the keys to your happiness are always revolving around how you protect and take care of the things and the ones that you covet and love the most. You are like a grizzly bear hibernating in a cave most of the time. It's you're keeping the cubs warm, right? It's taking care of all of those things, unless somebody comes and interrupts the sleep, and then it's on like Donkey Kong, right? But in this situation, it's all about you just coming into this great mindset, into this great place where you are kind of getting everything that you were asking for. It was kind of like I'd said in one of the other readings, and even with Brigitte, you ask for all these things in the universe, they show up. So we're there now, right? Now we can go into this beautiful hibernation, this lull, where things don't have to be as dramatic and crazy. You might find it a little bit boring sometimes on the personal side, not because you're bored because you don't have things to do. I think you're busier than a one-armed paper hanger, but you might find it dull after being used to so much drama. Do you know what I mean? So much turmoil, so much unknown. It may take you a minute to kind of gravitate into that as well. Yeah, but everything looks good. I think there's the potential that you may get offered a little elevation at work that would be a little pay jump and also a little boost in what you're doing. And that's always awesome. If that can come in now, that would be great, because then Christmas is way, way better. So I see that stuff coming in, but everything else for you is super solid, sweet girl. I think you're just exactly where you need to be. You have landed, you have arrived, right? Now it's just time to enjoy. So sit back and enjoy, mama. One thing, try to make sure there's not a whole lot of lamps around that baby. I don't know why I worry about him grabbing lamps all the time. I don't see him getting hurt bad with them, but I see him being like, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Just bobbing around and kind of knocking shit down. Do you know what I'm saying? So watch the lamps. What are you over there giggling about? Stay Puft? I am ridiculous. And I'm sober. That's so bad. Woo!
Okay, Rachel is next.
Okay. Let me read some of the comments there. So KJ missed the show the other night. Yeah, you lazy. What were you thinking? See, I'm not even going to be nice about it. Everybody else is all spiritual. They're like, it's okay. And I'm like, whatever. Quit missing shows. I'm joking. It's okay if you're tired, sweet girl. And Carol said the mic drop, it's my birthright. Amen, girl. Write a rap song. Start rapping that stuff. I'm just telling you right now. You are an OG. You know that, right? Hey, Miss Betty. Hey, Zelda. Good to see you, sweet girl. I'm so happy to see you guys here. Okay, where was I again?
I can read the question for Rachel.
Ah, for Rachel. Right.
So this is what she wrote.
Okay.
I got a question. Please, what is going to happen with Todd and his job?
Okay, so what's going to happen with Todd and his job?
Within the next month, I think they are trying to replace him, but I don't know if they want him to do something else within the same company.
Okay. Let's see what we can figure out, Rachel. Let's see what we got, Mama. Poor Todd. He's had a struggle with all of this. You got a 3 card, inverted, the benefactor. It's grace and generosity, but we are inverted. Oh, Rachel. Listen, here's the gig. If they offer him something to keep him in the company, I feel like it's going to come in at the midnight hour. It will almost come to the point where he's like, F it. Do you know what I mean? Enough is enough. And it feels like for me, right at the midnight hour, something comes in. If he can change the dynamic a little bit, because there's so much frustration with this, you know as well as I do that it will balance things out a little bit. But if things don't get level, Todd's going to have to look for another job. Right? Because here's the thing, even if they make the offer at the midnight hour, if Todd doesn't get that sense of dread under control, it won't matter. Like that offer would just dissolve. Do you know what I'm saying? It would go away as quick as it comes in. I don't think it's an offer that is in any betterment. I think it keeps him at the same pace, right? But for whatever reason, where I'm looking at his work, it feels like for me that there is just so much, such a disintegration of empathy within that group. It feels like so many desperate climbers trying to hang on to the same lifeboat at one time that everybody's just kind of lost their way with everything. Those people will fall off, which is where the opportunity would come in for Todd. But he has to make sure that he's not hanging on the lifeboat. He needs to be in a life preserver away from the lifeboat, just watching them all go down. Does that make sense? Like, he needs to be separated from that level of crazy and just kind of be floating in the water, waiting for it to come. If he can do that, they will make the last minute offer and he will be okay. Even though I still don't see him being happy with it, and I still don't see it being something that's going to be super, super long term. It may drag out to June or July, but in the end, he's going to have to find something else. Okay. So be open-minded with it. I think right now the smart thing to do, knowing where we're headed over the next 4 or 5 months, is to hang on to what you got. So if he can level out, separate from the pack of despair over there, and just kind of wait for it to play out, he will be fine. All right, Mama. I'm sorry you are going through this. It's a tough time. Listen, right now, I think people are feeling it either like things are getting a lot easier, or things are just getting way worse. But we are in extremes. There's not a lot of middle ground right now for people. And so don't be upset. If you're on the opposite side of things feel like they're getting a lot worse, it just means you got a lot more crap to unpack, right? If things are getting a lot better, that's amazing. You should be sitting up there swinging your little freak flag, laughing and enjoying your life, because not many people are feeling that way. So even in the highs and the lows, just own whatever that is, right? Just own it. There's nothing else you can do, because we can't change what's going on globally around us. We can only manage the energetic that we're staying in ourselves. So put yourself in a bubble if you want to, right? That's cool. Either way, it's fine. Because if you're going downhill, the dang thing can just, bounce downhill. If you're sitting on top of things, you can just sit there and be protected. So totally up to you. All right, what have we got?
KJ has a question. She says, hello, I like what you're saying about cleaning up. My local town is changing quickly, getting violent. Where does one place their energy into a community? Schools, police, hospital? I want to help make a good change.
Right. Do you want to come over here?
Okay.
Maybe we'll let Victor come into the picture. Put some clothes on first.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just teasing. Okay. Let's see. Grab a stool.
Thank you.
Sit right down. Bring your drink. See, y'all thought I was lying. I'm not. Hi, everybody. All right, Miss KJ. So you've got a 47, my darling. And that's going to come to 11, coming down to a 2. And that's all about cooperation and partnerships, right? It's all about working with other people. So I think you're exactly in line with what you're feeling. Absolutely. The card that you got is the Sky Bridge, and it's the possibility for union. I couldn't make this stuff up, but it's inverted. So here's the thing, sweet girl. Rachel and I we've talked about this a lot in the last couple of weeks, because we're really watching all the shifts. We're watching what's going on astrologically. We're watching what's going on in the real world and kind of talking what this looks like. If you feel the need to help, find a very small project that you take on. If this is like, I don't know, helping people get childcare, take a project on that's something small, right? Like a community garden where you're volunteering with it. But don't take anything big on right now. The violence that you're seeing, it's hard for all of us to watch this, but guys, this is just part of the cycle. We can't start over until we end the cycle that we're in, and it is going to get a little ugly. And it's hard to watch it, and it's hard to be in it. This is a time where we kind of hold our kindness down while protecting ourselves as well. You can do both. It doesn't make you selfish to protect yourself, because you can't serve others if you can't take care of yourself, right? So sometimes the biggest thing that we can do to build that connection, that bridge, KJ, is to make sure that we are so strongly in alignment with who we are. Sometimes the bridge is a phone call. Sometimes the bridge is sitting on the front porch. Sometimes the bridge is talking to a stranger in a chat. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's the micro bridges and the micro steps that make the bridge or the ladder way stronger. So think smaller, think local, right? When I say local, I mean in your neighborhood, not in the city. There's nothing you can do there. These systems have to fall off. So you're going to have to make peace with that, right? You can put as much duct tape as you want to on it, KJ, but it ain't going to hold together. This thing just kind of has to crumble. You want me to move the camera up so everybody can see your shiny forehead? Oh, Victor, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blew my mind. Hey, Victor. Oh, shit. Now nobody can see me. Okay, wait. Sorry, guys.
So now it's Betty that wants a general reading.
Miss Betty. Are we right here where I'm at?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Holy crap, I'm in the right place. Who knew?
You're on it.
Who knew? Hey, Miss Betty. You got a 61. It's a 7. That's my number. You're a very, very lucky girl. It's well song. It's resonating. So, Miss Betty, here we go. Which means you are finally stepping into your light, my darling. You are finally finding your space where you are resonating with an intention and with purpose in the universe, maybe more controlled than you ever have before. You're finally coming into this joyful place, and especially coming in over the next month and a half, where you just settle. You settle right into it. Even with all the chaos going on, you're going to be like, I am just super good, right? It's personal triumphs, personal successes. It's not about money, not about any of that stuff. It's about coming to terms and coming to peace with life and what we can do with it and what we can't do with it, and learning to quit giving such a damn about what we can't do. We should focus more on what we can do, right? It's the same thing I was saying with KJ. It's these little microcosms of things that we do that make the biggest impact, that change the environment the biggest way, the environment around us. So you are doing really great. I'm proud of you. You're going to be saving money. Oh my God. You do have a guy coming in. Oh, Betty. Oh, Betty, help us. You do have a gentleman coming in. There will be some decisions to make. And I know this sounds crazy, but it sounds like to me that this guy may have been one of the survivors in the Florida disaster. I think he might have lost his house down there. And now he's going to be moving and coming into the picture. And I think the social aspect for him, like online, is the only thing that's his saving grace right now. So this gentleman's coming in. Don't necessarily move him into your home and bed too quick, young lady. Although he is a charming, charming man. Don't make that face. Listen, women of a certain age, we can move y'all in whenever we're ready.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. That was free. But don't go too gung-ho, because listen, he's attracting from a place of starting over. You're attracting from a place of starting over. We have to make sure that those two things are aligned and coming in for the same reason, okay? But someone is coming in, Miss Betty. So hang tight, sweetie. It looks like things for you are just kind of culminating into Miss Betty stepping into her own luscious light. Just keep it PG, Betty. Make me proud, sister. You know what I'm saying. You got this.
And now Zelda would like general reading.
All right. Hey, can I get a big favor from you right before I do that? Would you let the lunatics in?
I shall.
Sorry, we have to unleash the beast, the howling demons in the backyard. They have been at bay this entire time because they have been crazy naughty. But okay, Miss Zelda. So general reading. Yes, you can, beautiful girl. Hello, ladies. You have got a 64, which is a 10, reducing back down to a 1, which is all about you. It is Woodwives, adaptability. I like that. As an ex-Mormon, it made me think of Sister Wives, of course, but that's not what this is about. This is just about connecting more to your feminine, natural right to be in alignment and also dominant without forceful in the world around you. It's about standing your ground in the natural world with all that natural feminine energy you have. It's about bringing it all in a way that is loving and nurturing, but also not full of BS. It's managing all the elements. Do you know what I mean? That's what Mother Nature does. Mother Nature has to manage all of the elements, plus deal with all of the offspring. It is the ultimate task of balance and grace and dignity. And that is what you are coming into. You are maturing. You always have been, but you're really maturing now into this thing. The only area that I will get onto a little bit about is your procrastination and really trusting yourself and letting yourself go down that road fully. Sometimes it feels like we're free falling. We feel like we're giving something up to take on something new. And this is just the opposite. This is just about you coming into balance with your femininity and and your world and your life and how you balance all those things and being okay with it, even when it's frustrating. But you have just got this real, this like goddess energy that's going to be swirling around you for quite a while. I don't see that going away anytime soon either. I think I see it moving all the way into April with you. It feels like you're going into a period of, just deep connection with that strong, feminine, nurturing Mother Earth kind of healing, grounding energy. So I think that's where you're headed, sweet girl. It's about holding down the fort. It's almost, I don't know why I keep getting Pioneer Woman in my head. I've never watched the show, don't know anything about it. No, she sells a lot of shit at Walmart. That's all I can tell you about it. But I'm getting Pioneer Woman in my head because there's something in her character, and maybe you know who she is from her shows, that you're pulling from, or that you're supposed to be pulling from, which is like building that foundation. Do you know what I mean? Making sure there's food stored, making sure all those basic things are kind of getting managed so that when the time comes, you have it all under control and you can just kind of breeze through things. So that's what I see for you, darling.
Diane would like a general reading now.
Oh, Diane. Hang on. Let me get a drink of my ice that melted. It's delicious. If you guys are looking for a low-cal solution to alcoholism, I highly suggest melted ice. What? Oh, no, it's fine. See, now he's trying to get me drinks. Then I got to start reading my own shit over here. I don't want to do that. Okay. All right, Diane. I have got you in an 8. Infinity, darling, infinity. And it is the crown games, the right use of power. Inverted. Okay? So, what are we talking about with this? The right use of power and when it's inverted. This comes all down to making sure that people aren't running over you. It's about communicating in a healthy way, especially with your life outside of home, but also your life in home. So work, colleagues, people that you have to deal with, if you're in church, whatever it is, all of those external people, also people at home. But it's about finding that balance in it to be like, boundary, road stop, love you all, loves and kisses all the way around. The stop sign is shaped like a big ass heart. Stop, right? Like, this is where I'm at. It all comes from a place of love, but it's hardcore boundaries and holding your own space right now. And that's where I see you. So all of that looks fine. I don't know if you are, Diane, taking care of someone or not, but it does feel like that you are often kind of the caregiver for other people. Maybe that's why the boundaries are coming in so heavy for me. Yeah. If you have, this may be somebody else in the room, so I'm just going to pop this out because I usually don't do crossing over kind of stuff in here. If you have an older lady who's been being taken care of, Diane, if this is you, then it's to you. If it's to somebody else here, you will know. If you have somebody, an older person, this is an older woman for me, who feels like she's somewhere, it feels like 87 for me, but it feels like she's somewhere in her late 80s that you've been taking care of. There is someone who's going to be transitioning out on the 9th of December. The commitment to take care of them, though, ends before then, because it looks like this will be hospice. Hi, Grace. Can you get down, please? Thanks. It looks like it will be like a hospice situation, or a nurse comes in and kind of takes the heat off. So, Diane, if that's not you, it's somebody in here, because I'm picking up that really, really strong. But Diane, just hang tight, sweetie, because like I said, this is all about you knowing how to use your power, how to command your audience, your people around you. It's being a queen without needing to be a diva. Do you know what I mean? Knowing your royalty without having to demand things. It's just holding in that energy. So hold strong there, and that's going to keep you on track and on pace for sure.
Louise would like a general reading.
Where are we at?
Louise.
Where is Louise? I don't see Miss Louise in here.
She said hello. It's Louise and then Anika.
Okay, I must be way off. Let me catch up. You tell me when I get caught up, okay? Let me get to the comments.
Okay.
Thanks. Because I feel like I'm way off. So this is where Rachel, okay, there was Rachel. Hey, Michael. Hey, sweetheart. I'm glad you're in here. How you doing? Okay, let's see. Miss Louise, there it is. Ah, Robusto, I know your son. I sure do. And hi, Miss Anika. Hi, Diane. Hi, everybody. So were we here?
Yes, with Louise. Louise chimed in first,
Right.
and then Anika asked.
Okay, got it. All right, Miss
Both
Louise.
general.
Both general. Got it. All right, sweet girl. Let me see what I can get up for you. Louise, there is one thing that comes up for me immediately before we get to the first card. I need you to watch the strain that is on your, it feels like both knees, but predominantly the left knee for me. It looks like there's a little sensitivity there. So I want you to pay attention with that. Make sure that when you're getting up and getting down, that you're not putting too much pressure on that, okay? So you got a 63 card. That is a 9. That is a great number. And it's winter's dream. It's a gestation period, okay? So this is, again, that hibernation, that time that we go inside to let things kind of culminate. So when we come out the other side in the spring, we find that life has changed and it is new. And that is where you are. Your job right now is to kind of be the calm, you know what I mean? The baseline, to keep everything level and steady, and to sit in that hibernation and let everything that's happening outside of you work itself out on its own. Because you get really emotionally invested. There's no two ways about that. But right now is not the time to do that. You're going to get more. You're going to get more here with honey than vinegar. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's about just kind of stepping back and hibernating and dealing with your own quietness right now. If you can do that in the next 2 to 3 months, what you're seeing as your reality happen around you right now will change dramatically in a really, really good way. But I don't want you to lose yourself because you get so invested in the people that you love. That's a beautiful trait. It's not a bad thing. But sometimes we have to remember that everybody comes in alone and everybody leaves alone. We can be of assistance along the way, right? We can put a hand out to help people up. But we can't all drive the same ship. So you need to step back just a little bit and take care of you and let these things kind of settle themselves out, and you will be fine. I think there has to be some change in the communication. It feels for me like there's a lot of frustration that is constantly being verbalized with you guys within your family. And that kind of needs to come to an end, because what you guys don't realize when you're doing that is that you're casting a spell. You're putting intention out. You're creating something that maybe otherwise wouldn't need to have extra energy put on it. So be real careful, even in worrying, right? I'm not saying you're doing anything mean. It's even in the worrying sometimes we start fostering and creating this energy, this intent into the world that doesn't need to be there organically. If we can sit back and let it naturally progress and we're not building resistance, then things tend to flow a little bit easier when a beaver doesn't build a dam. Right? That's what we have to do. Let's don't build a dam. Let's just let the river flow. You can sit back on the shore and watch it flow and be happy with that. Catch a couple fish. Do you know what I mean? Have a glass of wine, but let it flow on by. For now, sit in your hibernation and just kind of remember, be cognizant of how strong your conversations and your words are, because you have a real pull on the entire family unit around you, on everybody around you. What you say influences a lot, even if you feel like it doesn't. And that's what I'm hearing you say right now. Nobody listen to me. You would be surprised how much they listen to you. So be careful with that, okay? Watch your intent with it really heavily. Okay. And then Anika?
Anika.
Oh, is it Anika?
I say it Anika.
Serafini. Okay. Got it. Miss Anika, I'm happy to give you a reading. Let me see what we can get into. I'm missing all the comments, though. That's weird. I don't know if I want the cabana boy over here running my comments. I mean, he's doing a really good job, but I feel like I'm missing out. Did you just do the? Oh, Lord help me.
But I didn't see Michael pop up on my feed, so.
Well, because he's coming in from YouTube. And so YouTube users, I'm the only one who sees them because I'm in control.
Cool.
Super not. Okay. Anika, let's see what we got here. Miss Anika, you got a 32 card, which is a 5. We're going to be getting all into balance with you, Anika. I think that's the major thing. You've got a lot of alignment stuff and balance stuff coming up. This is called the jeweled web. It's about connectivity. Okay. It is inverted. I'm going to turn it upright for you this so you can see what it normally looks like. Okay. This is about connectivity. So when it's inverted like that, for me, it means that as spiritual as you are, as highly intuitive as you are, sometimes your receptors are like firing too many signals to the point of disconnection. It's almost like overloading a circuit, right? It's so much going on that everything's powering down. Is that me? Now my alarm's going off. That stinker. Will you fix it? Will you do that for me, please? Sorry, I don't want to lose my train of thought, but it's all about things are firing a little too hard. So I need you to bring everything down to a minimum and focus on one or two things, okay? Just one or two things, and meditate and sit and focus on those things. But you've got so many things going. I mean, it's like fireworks, right? Like there's just so much going on all the time that it's making it hard to have one super solid connection. You've got lots of little many connections going, but to have one straight line of communication has been really hard. So I need you to try to focus on that for me if you can. It has everything to do with, I think it's been a coping thing for you since you were a kid. Like this, you have such a quick mind. It's just so much go, 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 go. I'm like that too. I have a lot of that in me too. And sometimes it's hard for other people to keep up, and that's fine when it's the fact that it's other people that are slow. But when you can't keep up with your own head, it becomes an issue. So we have to just kind of center things back down. And that's what I want to see you doing. As far as anything major coming in, I do not see anything major coming in. It does look like if you're in a committed relationship, things are going to get really, really nice. If you are not, there is one coming in. There's a lot of you that are going to be seeing this burst of relationships coming this month. I'm going to say it's going to be like 40%. There's a reason why. A lot of us are attracting to what we would call our soulmates or our kindred spirit, our partner that we need, because of the shift that the planet's going through right now, because of the shift that the universe and we are going through right now. We are coveting those people and we're calling them in. So don't be surprised if somebody comes in that you have an incredibly strong connection with. If that person isn't already there, if that person is already in your life, then that connection intensifies in a really, really, really strong way. So I don't usually talk about this kind of stuff because I know a lot of people have a hard time with it. But I will tell you, for those of you who are in committed relationships, if you have an intention that you want to put out or something that you're trying to rope in, if you can get the consent of your partner, because consent's always important, when you are in an intimate situation with your partner, when the time arrives to release all that loving energy into the world, cast your intention. Because at that point, you're combining literally, physically, and metaphorically, two energies to boost that signal out into the universe to really pull things in. So something to think about. Annika, I hope that helps, sweetie. Let's rope everything down, okay? Let's have two maximum lines of thought here, and let's get all that energetic roped in. Because like I said, you're highly, highly intuitive. You have a very strong connection, but I want to make sure you're not burning out fuses in other places. All righty?
If Michael doesn't want anything, then Pearl wants a general reading.
Oh, Pearl. She still hadn't found that ring.
Nope. Sorry, Pearl.
Pearl, I'm sorry about that. I was actually, when you had brought it up last week, I think it was with Rachel. Or was it with you? When it went missing.
She brought up with Rachel.
With Rachel.
And then Elise was helping too, because they were talking about it may have been lost in the car.
See, and there it is. Because I was sitting back and I don't want to jump into other people's shows. I will tell you what I see. I saw that it slipped off in between like two surfaces, like a fabric surface and a harder surface. It almost feels like not like hard plastic, but a harder surface. I saw it falling out. Darling, I feel like it came off outside the car door and went under the car. That was the first thing. And I know this is not going to make you happy because you were desperate to find that ring. But I'm going to tell you that I don't see it in your space, right? Like I don't see it with you. I don't see it in your house. I don't see it in a controllable space where you would be. It feels like for me that it fell off as you were getting out of a car door. So I don't know if this was you trying to adjust a handbag to your left-hand side or the seat belt. I don't know what this is, but there's something going on there where it comes off. So my deepest apologies, darling, on that, but you may just have to make peace with it. You never know, though. It may find its way back. And I'll tell you a great story really quick. Many, many years ago when my mother died, she had left me a fabulous gold and diamond watch, and it got stolen. And I was heartbroken about it because all I had was a couple of pieces of jewelry. I didn't have any other family. I just had my mom. And so for years I thought about that. I was super sick about it. I looked everywhere. I waited for I don't know how long. 12 years later, I walk into a jewelry shop in the mall in Douglasville, Georgia, to get another piece of jewelry fixed. And there sits my mother's watch with the engraving on the back, the entire thing. And I said, you have got to be kidding me. And I told the jeweler the whole story because he knows me. And he said, take it. It was always yours. So don't be surprised if it makes its way back around. But right now, it's out of your control. And you're going to have to make peace with that instead of going crazy with it, okay? It'll boomerang. Things can boomerang their way back in if we're not fighting it too hard. Just allow that. Allow it to boomerang back in, okay? All right. Captain, oh my captain.
And the last would be Bavin Gaswani. He wants a general reading.
All right, let me get down.
I think if you go up a little bit, you'll see him.
Oh, let's see. Betty, you love me, I crack you up. I'm glad, girl, I'm cracking me up too. Let me just, woo. Oh, it's been a day, y'all. Like, I don't get out in public that often, but y'all know this one had his powwow the other day, and he was dancing out of his dang clothes. His knee pads kept coming off, and I was helping him with that, and I was giggling. We had a really good time. But this week has been just interesting. But at least I got the shaggin' wagon today. Not that there's going to be any shagging in the wagon, because I'm 50, right? Am I going to shag a dust cloud? It's ridiculous. Okay, let me get back up here. Okay. Pearl, you are so sweet. We love you. We're glad that you found us too. And it is all good people in here. We're watching you guys grow together in all of this has just been the most magical experience, watching all of y'all come together. It's made all of it totally worth it. So Mr. Bavin, general reading. Bavin, you are new. I haven't seen you before. So welcome to the network. If you have a direct question at any point during this, please let me know, Mr. Bavin, and I will help you as much as I can. So give me 1 second and let me see what I can do. Man, the time flies with y'all. I have so much fun with y'all. Can y'all imagine if we could all talk together in this, how ridiculous this party would be? Because I'm having this much fun by myself with Captain Morgan over here. And I'm just telling y'all, it would get straight up crazy. There's a cat in my window screaming too. There's 2 dogs a farting. 1 cat is screaming, 1 Captain Morgan. 5 tarot cards. Okay. Grazie mille. Okay, sorry, we're going to get serious now for a minute, Bavin. Only getting serious while I'm doing the reading. I can't guarantee after that. And so yours is a 52 card, reducing down to a 7. This is called Straddling Worlds. It's wandering between the realms. So here we go. Can you see it? Do I need to pull it back? There we go. Oh, Grace Kelly. Yes. She is the worst. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Gracie is a hot, hysterical mess lately. Jesus. Is it wrong? Is it wrong to put Benadryl or NyQuil in your dog's dog food? I don't know. All right. Straddling the Worlds. This is a really beautiful card. Bevin, we haven't seen this one before, so this is pretty unique. This one is really cool for me because it's about you coming into security and fruition with your talents, with the deepest parts of who you are. I pick up such, I don't know if you show this side of yourself to the world, but I pick up such a deep, introspective, creative artist feeling with you, this creator energy with you. I think there's such a deep need to be deeply connected to everything you do. You're just not a surface level person. It's just about deep connections in every single thing you do. And it's really, really beautiful because watching you go through this, it's not even like you have the arrogance of like, I need to master this. I need to be the king of the world. You don't. You have this nice flow to it. It's just such a genuine want to have wisdom and to have knowledge in all things that you do. You have what I would say is the Midas touch in the way that you deal with things. It's really beautiful to watch. Now, I will say this, I don't think that you always capitalize on that. I think sometimes you back down too much where you could have much more impact if you felt stronger and more secure and grounded in that being. And maybe that's where the straddling the worlds comes in. is kind of not committing one way or the other. But I will tell you, jumping off the deep end can be a hell of a lot of fun. Even if you can't swim, it's the fight to get back up that kind of makes it cool sometimes. But I want you to make a decision. I want you to make a commitment about what it is you truly want. What do you really believe? Who are you really? Who is Bavin really? When you strip off everything else, who are you? What do you want? Because this is something only you can answer. But in the minute that you own and conquer all of that, what you can do in service to yourself and others is going to be unlimited, Bavin. You have a huge capacity to do that. I think you just have to be careful not to get distrustful with the intentions of other people quite so much. You can get a little on the defensive, a little over proactive sometimes in preparing for the worst thing. But you have to choose here. I'm not going to say choose dark or light. I think that's horseshit. I think choose neutrality. That's not straddling the worlds. That's mastering the worlds. Straddling the worlds is when we're not sure which way we're going, right? And so if there's anything you're going to master that. Master neutrality. You can have duality in your personality and still, I'm rhyming like a who knew what. You can have all of those things while staying in a neutral space. In fact, the more neutral you stay, the more creative you become, because you can actually allow influence to come in and serve you in a better way. But I want you to make decisions. I want you to get real with you about who you are and what you want, and then nail it. Don't be kind. It's like what I say to Victor's kid when he's going to play tennis. Kill him, right? Ain't no crying in tennis and baseball. Kill it. Get honest with yourself. Decide exactly what you want. Unleash your power on the world and go. Run. Wings wide open, kid. And you've got it. So let's hope it does it. Now I'm going to read comments. Woohoo!
Nice. Lois just got in under the gun.
What?
She's right down.
Undercover Lois. Undercover. Holy camole. All right. Victor cracks you up, Brigitte? It's the gift that keeps on giving. I'm just messing. Oh, KG, like the story my mom's watched. Hey, it was incredible. I couldn't believe it. I'm going to be honest with you. Ironically, it got stolen again. But how about that for some damn luck? But it came back in the picture long enough for me to make peace with it. It was a really amazing thing. So, Pearl, sounds like a fun party, girl. As soon as that doorbell rings, y'all know it'll be the cops. Jennifer, I should give them box rescue remedy. Hey, look, something. Look, I don't even smoke. I'm not even Rasta. I've never smoked. Don't have anything against it. But I'm just about ready to start smoking with these dogs. It'll look a frat house in here, right? You know, when they do the whatever, the sharing, whatever. I'm not going to do that. It's probably illegal and immoral. All right. Miss Lois, good to see you here. But she wasn't asking for reading.
No.
All right, guys. Listen, we're going to wrap it up. As y'all can hear, my dogs have lost their ever-loving minds. Now, there is either a cougar in my backyard or they are both mentally ill. And I will probably go with the latter of the two. Aside from that, Victor needs to put some clothes on the lower half of his body. We are completely sober, although we're not staying that way for long, more than likely. Because now we got the van. We can go hang out in the van and watch movies in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hell yeah. I didn't even think about that. What?
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Time to stream some things.
Man, y'all
It's
don't
on.
need what do they call a girl shack thing?
Hendon or no?
A hen den.
It was like a sheet.
She shed. Man, my she shed has wheels, right? Like I don't even need a she shed. I got everything in there but a toilet, and I'm putting one in. There it is. All right, guys. We love y'all. We love y'all so much. And we'll see you guys Sunday. Wanda will be back. She had a family engagement this past week, but she will be back in on Sunday. Rachel will be on Monday. God willing, all of us will be here. Victor will be on Tuesday, fully dressed and sober, ready to go. I will be here next Wednesday, probably not sober, somewhat dressed, and probably not eager to go. I'm joking. But we love you guys. Y'all have a good night. Everybody take care. It's always so much fun spending this time with y'all. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others.